welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to run you through all the things I've picked up over the last couple of months and what I plan to do with them. I'm going to run through a couple of pieces of fabric and some patterns. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so the first things I want to take you through are the patterns that I've picked up since the last time I made a video. So we'll go through them separately. This first one is the Vogue 9076, which is this lovely flowy dress with really puffy sleeves and sort of a midi length, or that's the variation I've made anyway from this pattern. I really like this pattern. I will insert some footage of the dress that I have most recently made with it. The fit is a little bit, I had to make a few adjustments for the fit. I think it turned out pretty good for a wearable mock-up. I'm kind of on the fence about whether I'm going to make the final version or not. I'm just not sure that the style suits me, but I really do love the pattern and the instructions. They're really thorough and really easy to follow along. I probably wouldn't recommend it for a complete beginner, but like I'm only really intermediate anyway, so it was still very doable for me. So yeah, a good one if you're trying to stretch your skills a little bit, I guess. Next, I picked up this Simplicity 8659, which is a 1950s vintage cabana set, I think they call it. I think it's meant to be for sleepwear, but I'm actually going to make my dad a shirt out of this variation, View B, which is this one with the contrasting cuffs and neck and sleeve. And I'm going to just make it out of linen so that it's more of an everyday shirt rather than a loungewear set. Something else I picked up, which I've had on my wish list on McCall's for ages, is this Vogue 5 Easy Pieces pattern. It's V9191. And the reason I love this is because it's got a couple of items that I would love to include in my everyday work wardrobe. I'm really attracted to the pants and the top in this pattern envelope. So it's got wide leg pants and then this basic blouse, and I really want to try and make an ensemble with this. This is very similar to a Tom and Linda Platt pattern I picked up. I'm not sure if I showed this in the last video, but it's got more of a high-waisted fitted waist and then also another basic blouse. So I want to try and make a few of these basic blouses. And in fact, I think I'm going to make a couple of blouses, because it's something that I've noticed I have a massive gap of in my wardrobe, is tops that I really like wearing that aren't just t-shirts. So that's going to be a little push of mine, is to find blouse patterns that are appropriate for corporate office and also for more just smart casual on the weekend kind of thing. So if you have any recommendations for blouse patterns, I'd be very interested to hear what people have made, what's come together nicely or easily, and yeah, get some recommendations on blouse patterns. Next is this Butterick pattern. I actually picked this up at the recycled textile market in Brisbane from Megan Handmade. I wrote her Instagram on the back of this so that when I actually get around to making it, I remember to tag her and thank her. I love this dress. I'm not sure if it'll suit my style, but I really want to make this out of the same kind of fabric that they've got in the picture here, like a tartan plaid, or I don't know, I just know I want to make this at some point. It's still not on my list because I've got a couple of other ideas in the pipeline, but I really want to make it. It looks really fun. Then I also picked up this vintage blouse pattern from Spotlight. I really love the look of this, and as I said, I'm trying to make a few more blouses and tops for my wardrobe. I'm going to run into the issue that I don't have bottoms, but I'll address that when I get there. Pants kind of scare me, so I've generally stayed away from them, except for one that I will show you that I've made. The other dress I just remembered I picked up from Megan at the recycled textile market was this Butterick pattern, the 5982. I absolutely adore this dress and I would love to make a recreation of it. I'm just not sure of the color combination at this point. I can't seem to find some pastel linens or cottons that kind of all go together with a similar tone. So that's like a work in progress to try and find some fabric that will fit that, but I love this dress. I hope it fits as nicely as I want it to. That's all the patterns that I got, which I say that's all. It's probably way too many for, let's be honest, I've got too many already, but I really look forward to making all these and showing you guys how I go. I actually might I'm about to start making my dad's shirt. I might record some footage of that, I'm not sure. Next up is some fabric. So I picked up some white cotton sateen to make one of those vintage blouses out of. That was the idea anyway. And I picked up some cotton viscose blend to make a mock-up of those. So that's my current work in progress at the moment. I've cut out and started sewing the mock-up, and this fabric is absolutely abhorrent to work with, but it's good for mock-up fabric and it's nice and cheap. So if it works out, it might actually look really nice, but it's quite stiff and not very nice to touch. So definitely just a mock-up fabric, unfortunately, because the print is quite lovely. And then the white cotton sateen will be the final, and I'm considering potentially doing a bit of top stitching like they have in this picture, maybe in a contrasting thread. I don't know, the world's my oyster, really. Also from Spotlight, I picked up this. It's from their In the Garden collection. I think it's actually a quilting cotton, but I really liked online the way it looked. In person, it's a little bit more brown than the picture had shown, and it's again that really stiff, like a not very good quality. So I'm not sure what to make with it. I'm thinking a mock-up of this dress just to actually use it. I don't like having stuff just sitting around and wasting my money on it, so I might make a mock-up of this. I'm not quite sure. For now, I think I'll just leave it in my stash. I'm not super inspired to use it, but I will, I think, use it for mock-up fabric. Then good old Lincraft. So Lincraft had a 40% off sale recently, and then also less recently, and I think I got these fabrics in the less recently version of those sales. This is a lovely round sort of pink. I can't remember the exact fabric, but it feels like a round. It's super, super soft and lovely. And I'm going to make, I've already cut out, I'm going to make the blouse from the Tom and Linda Platt packet. I'm not sure if the color will work. I feel like when I pick fabrics, I get really excited about the colors, and then I like go to put it on, and this is my big issue of like, I actually don't wear crazy colors or prints to work very much, so I fall into this trap of having like a really lovely color for like a casual shirt, and then I make like my work shirt out of it. So we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, it can be a wearable toile for a Saturday or something. Next is this pinstripe suiting, and I'm gonna make a final version of those pants out of this. I think they're also the Tom and the Platt pants. I don't actually know. No, they must not be. I can't remember what pants pattern I used for those pants. Oh yes, these pants. So these are the pants I made this mock-up out of. I think I made view B, so I'm just gonna increase the depth of this crotch point so that it doesn't make those awkward V's, and make it again in the black. It worked really well. So earlier in the year, I also challenged myself to try and make a basic t-shirt. And look, I've already used this white jersey, light cotton jersey, to attempt to make a shirt. And let's just say that Knit Fabrics and me still don't exactly get along because it didn't really work. I did it on my overlocker, which maybe if I did it on my actual machine and just used a zigzag stitch, it would be easier as I have more experience controlling my overlocker and making it do what I want it to do. So I have 3 other attempts from which I can make a shirt. I got these from the Remnant Warehouse, and I love the guys, they're great. I called them and like asked for some beginner like jersey fabrics, and this is what they sent me. So I don't know the details of these, sorry, and I'm fairly sure they're out of stock because I got them quite a while ago, but there's like a nice mid-weight black, which you can't see through, so that's good. Then there's another black, which is more of a gray really, and it's sort of also, it has a kind of corduroy feel, but it's not. And then it's also not see-through, so that'd be great. I can make that, and then also this white. Hopefully I will get a wearable shirt. I downloaded and printed a bunch of free patterns that you can get from Mood. They have just so many printed patterns, and there's I also printed the Stellan tee. It's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, so there's the lavender tee, which I want to have a go for a basic shirt, and then also the Stellan tee, but that doesn't seem to be in my paper pattern folder, so I'm sure it's around here somewhere. I think I cut it up to make the shirt. So yeah, I'm excited to try some of these. We'll see how I go. I do plan on making some of these. They're free, so I don't know what can go wrong. I could just spend a day making a mock-up out of very inexpensive fabric and come out with something I love. So that's eventually on my list as well. But hopefully I get some basic t-shirts out of these. Any tips for making, working with knits would be great. It's something I'm really trying to challenge myself to do more because I am not very good at it. Lastly, we just have some fabrics also from the Remnant Warehouse that I picked up most recently to do my dad's shirt. The fabric that I'm going to use to make this. So it's going to be this grey marl linen, which is like a nice texture to it. It feels a little bit heavier weight than I would have liked it to be for a shirt. But I think it should be okay because it's quite a loose fit, so it's going to be scratchy on his body. Then I've got this. I had originally planned to have this for the contrasting, but it's got like a bit of a yellow undertone, so I'm not sure that it really goes. I might end up just using a bit of the white cotton sateen that I had planned for the blouse because I'm sure there'll be enough to make the contrasting bits with the linen. I think the stark white goes a little bit better. And lastly, I picked up this bright yellow twill from Lincraft as well, I think. I don't actually remember. I got it with my mum and she wants me to make her some way she can put her whistle and her phone when she's at work. She's a teacher, so she's running around after children the whole time. I have no idea what to do with it, but I'll come up with something. That's it for today's haul. Hopefully you enjoyed getting a little peek into my plans for the next little while. I promise I will try and film a couple of these projects, especially the vintage blouse, which I'm actually currently making at the moment. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I really enjoy making these videos and I hope you enjoyed watching them.